together with all the others who've spoken before me, I think on issues to do with the special economic zone and all the incentives, Ubaka will address those issues. County issues, Korea had already talked about those. But I just wanted to emphasize on a few things that I think are extremely important. Abubakar mentioned about county competitiveness. In other words, counties across Kenya are competing. There's Mombasa, there's Kilifi, and for any company that wants to come to Kenya, the first question they'll ask is, yes, Kenya, but where in Kenya? So that's where the issue of competitiveness comes. And so counties that are efficient, information is available, systems are clear, will tend to attract more business. And I think this is really what we must say. Some of you, especially in the hotel industry, you may want to imagine the devolution conference that is ending in Homa Bay. If it had been held here or Baringo or anywhere else, you would literally not have any space for a whole 1 month. So these are very important aspects of investment, and I think we need to ask counties to be in the front line. The issues addressed by the business community, whether they are security or whatever it is, so that we can continue to attract more businesses. And I think that, I don't know how better we can say it, because we believe that investors have a choice. They can go to Meru, they can go to Baringo, they can go to Kisumu, they can go to Kajiado. So for Nakuru, I think the point is issues that are raised, we try and see how we can address them, including the roads, among other issues that have already been mentioned. We also need to look at the issue of business incubation. We normally say that a lot of the businesses that start as SMEs, if they are taken care of, they will eventually transit to become the MSMEs and later on to become big companies. Jaswinda, who spoke before me, his first generation parents were tailors around Kenyatta Avenue. And today, they're exporting big to the US market, one of our biggest companies owned by a local. So we must take care of the small companies so that tomorrow they will no longer be small, but the big companies of tomorrow. So the issue of business incubation becomes important. And it's for that reason that we have requested from terminologies such as Juakali to MSME, because they really show like you are stuck there, you are born there, you will die there. But we need to show that this is just a phase before we get to the next level. And some of the institutions like KDC are here to help you in the journey to transit to the next level. Joint marketing, I think this one was said by Kanyoro and the team here. We will work together. I will also get the tourism, Kenya Tourism Board to come here, sit with the hotel owners, agree on a strategy, and if there are resources that are required, I think we can be able to work together. Now that is what we call destination marketing. Because if your hotel is full, if people come to Sarawak and it is full, they will go to the next hotel. The driver will sleep in another hotel. So once you market the destination and there's positive outlook around it, then everybody begins to benefit. So it is not, we can't always market as an individual hotel. There's a time when now we need to get to the next level, which is what you're calling destination marketing, and we have huge opportunities. I've mentioned that traditionally our visitors have come from the US, Britain, English speaking, but you're now seeing that the Far East countries, including China, are taking a very serious interest in the Kenyan market. So again, when you're making some of the marketing drives in those countries, or when they come, we would want to send them here so that you can have a discussion with the travel agents and some of those other people. Park charges. I think this is a very serious matter. Recently, when we met some Japanese tour operators, they cited this as a top issue because if you compare Masai Mara, say, and Serengeti across in Tanzania, the cost has really gone up. So if we make our parks beyond a certain number, then we will make our destination expensive and therefore uncompetitive. So we will be working with tourism to look for sustainability, looking at numbers that are enough to cater for the costs, but are also not segregative in terms of stopping other people from coming. On music, copyright and other costs, I think one of the areas we have been having a big problem is, different agencies, they come, they slap a fee, another one slaps a fee. So we are trying to work with our investment experts to see how we can have like a processing of this. Because if you allow every agency to come and charge all the fees, then businesses finally become uncompetitive. And I think we are already dealing with that in another area of export, and I think we can extend it to some of those issues. On Itaredam, I think we are at the technical level. I think the contractor who was given became bankrupt, but we have moved forward to reassign to another one. There's good progress, but we still need to push for it because a city can't grow without water. So water is critical, and I couldn't agree more that we need to invest more to make sure that the water is available and is the right quantity, and so on and so forth. In closing, I want to assure you of our commitment to solve some or part of this. But I am sure even if we solve this, others will come. Is it true? Is it true? So when you want to start jogging or to start exercise or anything, even if you have slippers, get started. Isn't it? So I think all I'm trying to say, as long as some of these things are in the right hands, we should know that something is happening. But we shouldn't wait until they happen for us to move forward. And once again, I want to emphasize on the issue of marketing Nakuru and Kenya by extension, and saying that when we go out with some of our colleagues here, one of our biggest issues is to portray Kenya in its best. Because the people who come to, even to your hotels as tourists, probably have never come to Africa. Maybe they think the whole of Africa is made of houses with thatch, mud houses. So we need to tell them it's a good place, it's a safe place, there's internet in every village, the roads are connected, the people can speak the languages and all those other things. And together we can be able to create a positive vibe about our country, our city, our county. And I think that's how really we can move forward. And for the institutions that are here, I really want to urge all of you who are here and you have an interest in any one of them, please don't leave before you have a conversation, exchange numbers, and possibly let's see how we can move together. Thank you.
To take it to 100% by 2030. But on the issue of availability and reliability of energy, which is a problem, we had that a freeze or moratorium on the power purchase agreement, which the cabinet has lifted, but it was still imposed by Parliament. And you had the president last week. He said now that we have to continue with the power purchase agreement, and you will see now lots of investment which are in the pipeline to be able to generate a lot of power so that it can be more available and reliable. On the issue of affordability of power, what we are doing to make sure we are reducing the cost of power, one is on the time of use policy, where you can use the power at night, which is at a lower rate, lower tariff, but we know there are some conditions there which the private sector have raised. We want to see how we can manage that. But most importantly, for us to get a lower tariff for power, we have shifted from grid to off-grid. So we are encouraging investors and businessmen to go captive power, so they can generate themselves and use it for themselves, or generate for a certain business community or an industrial park. The next issue is on the financing cost. In terms of our economic environment, we boast ourselves with stable and strong macroeconomic indicators. Stable exchange reserves, stable exchange rate, lower inflation regime. And now you can see the interest rate are going down because the CPK rates are still going down. What is still not happening is the transmission of that lower cost to the businessman. So we're working with Central Bank and the banks to come up with a methodology, a uniform methodology on how that lower interest rate regime can be transmitted to business people. But in addition to that, we have development finance institutions like KDC, which the president last week he had said that he will enhance its balance sheet, which this KDC gives capital at a lower interest rate. It is 10 and below in certain sectors. So the idea, and you can be able to take advantage of them so that you can be able to access finance at a lower cost. Thirdly was on the issue of SEZ. I was told, I heard that they are not accessible. Is it a person who has not been accessible, or is it the land which is not accessible?
It's being able to actually get the appointment, visit the place, learn more about the incentives, and be able to participate. So that is the challenge right now.
Okay, so this CESA program, there is an institution called Special Economic Zones Authority, which manages that. And if there's a problem with that entity falls under me, so you can come directly to me and you'll be able to get an appointment immediately. However, if your issue is to be gazetted as an SEZ or an EPZ for a BPO, you don't have to go to the Naivasha SEZ. We are going to gazette you wherever you are. The law allows us to, for BPOs, you can gazette wherever you are as an EPZ. The fourth issue was on machinery financing. This still you can get from KDC because their main focus, they can finance different sectors, but the main focus is tourism finance and industrial finance, where they finance the purchase of machinery. And currently we have an line with Indian Exim to purchase of machinery and equipment from China, from India, and it is at a lower interest rate, and the line has not yet been exhausted. We still have $10 million which has not been used. So if you want to purchase machinery from India, you can go to KDC, you'll be able to purchase them at a lower than 10%. The fifth one is on incentives of 5 shilling in the CESA program, whether they can be, it's not accessible. So the problem here is this, why we had put 5 shilling is for those manufacturers who's in the cost per unit of production, the energy part is highest. So what we were targeting manufacturers which use a lot of energy, not any company that wants to access the 5 shilling. So if you want to access it, you have to access it at 120 kV, not at 33 or 66, because we were targeting manufacturers with high energy input. Otherwise, if we are targeting any other person, even if we reduce your cost of power, but in your cost per unit of production, if that is only 0.00 something, it will not reduce your cost of production. But there are certain manufacturers where in their cost per unit, energy is, for example, 60%. So if you reduce that, then their cost of production will go down and they will be competitive. Thank you.
Thank you. Maybe we allow us for KDC representative to make just a minute remarks.
Good afternoon. For Kenya Development Corporation, we are positioned to provide affordable to all for the purposes of the Nakuru County and the business people presented, I want to state that your business needs are well aligned with our product profile. There's still a relationship between financing and ease of doing business, especially on policy and logistics, because even if we give you affordable capital and the ease of doing business is not there, that's why we're grateful to have the ministry work on those policies. And Mr. Jesudabedi used to work on the ease of doing business and using logistics. So specific to your needs, Nakuru County spreads across agriculture sector. We have solutions for value addition, post-harvest loss mitigation with manufacturing, and the Exim line of credit will help you get machinery from India. We give you a moratorium period to set up the plant, and that facility is at less than 10%. That one is specifically for agro-processing and manufacturing sector. If you come to the sectors that are upgrading from nano innovation and development, Our manufacturing pool of resources is available for all across the manufacturing sector. So be it in textile, be it in manufacturing of the motor vehicle parts. I've seen one local manufacturer who does from free area doing the same. We have that facility at least 12% or below. For the livestock value chain, because of the linkage, the 8 counties that you border, that either ASAL, and you've got linkage to the leather industry and meat processing, we have the livestock value chain for fat cod drive at less than 10%, and it will help you be it in accelerating beef production because you've got beef shortage for export, and also the value chain that fits into the same, and also manufacturing, be it leather. In tourism, we also have affordable capital for budget hotels. And here the specific reason for budget hotels, the effect of budget hotels is that they are set up everywhere and they provide direct market for food and employment to the people around that area. On creative economy and ICT, we have the same to take care of the youth and women. So the challenge that Waziri talked about youth, women, our ICT and creative economy products will help you from innovation, making it mature to the point of being a viable investment. Maybe the challenge of power consistency that Mr. Wilson talked about, so it has crystallized. So the other part is on that, the ICT and innovation, and here we are looking at the pool of young people in the digital and creative economy to see to it that we facilitate them grow to be the big companies and they can utilize the digital superhighway to push in their business. So the funding process is equity or debt. That debt is structured in a way that we can facilitate your repayment based on your cash cycle and give you some moratorium period for you to recover and start generating adequate revenue. So we have our team here, we are available, and you're here to make sure that you provide the solutions that will help you achieve your maximum potential. But most importantly, please create sustainable jobs, pay above minimum wage, and do not participate in negative environmental impact. Thank you.
Thank you so much, KDC. We'll have just 2 more rebuttals. One, I will give a chance to the CEO of the Receipt Council.